Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Live.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas Live here on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. I'm your host, John Neighbors, alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, and appreciate each and every one of you for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday so far, as we're going to have plenty of things to talk about today. We're going to get to what to watch for, presented by Bryant Technologies, as well as who our heavy hitters are, presented by HD Roofing and Construction. We'll have a vibe check of the chat presented by our friends over at Basis Health, as well as a buy or sell action presented by our friends over at BetSaracen. We get into other topics, basically a lot of things going on, but we're all going to talk about it today. But fellas, how we feeling here on a Tuesday leading up to the College World Series here in just a few days for Arkansas?
Feeling good, man. Feeling great. I was thinking this morning, and I'm kind of surprised that we didn't talk about it during everything that went on over the course of the weekend, but it was either the day before, maybe we were at Alumni Hall or the day before that, where John, you posed the question about like, what if Arkansas just dominates Tennessee in this series? And I just remember being like, hey, if they do that, y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing about Omaha. My confidence is going to be at an all-time high. Well, Arkansas did that, and y'all can't tell me nothing. My confidence is at an all-time high, man. I'm pumped up. I'm excited, ready for the fellas to get out there, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel about how I did last week, where I was like excited, confident for the weekend, but I also kind of don't want it to get here because I want to soak in this beautiful, happy moment as long as we can. I want to keep watching all the celebration videos a time or two again. I'll eventually get to the point where I'm anxious and wanting to play that game. But right now, I'm kind of enjoying the calm after the storm.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, where I'm anxious to get it going because of how great it's been so far. And I also don't want to get too overconfident to where I just believe that this is going to continue on to be dominating. Like you said, Curtis, it's such a weird feeling to where there hasn't been a time going into Omaha that, my butthole's been puckered like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there hasn't been a time where I've just been on pins and needles and stressed and then leaving a game pissed off because of missed opportunities, because of how they looked or, getting frustrated. There hasn't been that. It's an eerie feeling to have at this point in time. And, it's almost kind of feels like when Arkansas made it to the Sweet 16 in basketball a little bit, where I know that it's a different circumstance, but just kind of where, man, this is great. Like this is where they're supposed to be, of all the journey and all that. This is where you wanted to be at, but the job's not finished. Still got to win more games. But it's just that nice feeling of knowing that no matter what happens, you're in the College World Series. You kind of went to the thing that you were wanting to do, that you needed to do, that you felt like was the expectation at minimum to do. And now everything on top of this is not saying house money, but it certainly feels like, okay, you're here. Don't go 0-2. I don't think any chance that Arkansas goes 0-2, but you're in the driver's seat. And that's what's great. Everybody likes to be in the driver's seat. No one wants to be in the back seat. No one wants to be getting car sick on the way on the pig trail going down to Little Rock. No one wants that. They want to be in the driver's seat. So that's where I'm at. I just feel great, anxious, nervous, but excited and confident all at the same time. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, man, it really is. And all those things that you said are so true. And I mean, there is just a big level of Arkansas's back where they're supposed to be to this. And they've also looked damn good on their way to getting there. So, I know before the Tennessee series, like John, you were calling sweep and everything like that. And I was like, man, like I'm not going to quite let myself get there. Like I'm confident, but still had that cautious optimism about me and everything like that. But man, the opportunities for us as Razorback fans to be on a stage like this, look the part, have a pathway that looks good for you, the highest seed remaining, all the reasons in the world to puff out your chest a little bit and go into something feeling really confident about your team and the potential there. We don't get that opportunity that much across the sports that we cover here. I'm going to fully embrace it, man. So I'm all in, and maybe I'm setting myself up for, even worse heartbreak down the road. I don't care. I'm going to enjoy it right now.
Yeah, I remember the last time that Arkansas's season ended in Omaha in 2022. That was when they posted the video of Dave talking to the team on the field. That was pretty much what he said was, I'm never going to be mad about a season that ends on this field. Like anytime you get to do that, obviously you want to win it all. That's your goal, but it's like, you're not really going to go home feeling bad about the team and view that year as a negative. And I know that some fans may hear that and think that means that, like, oh, they're just satisfied. They don't really want to win the title. That's not what that means at all. We all know how much it would mean. We don't even have to spell that out. Like, we don't even have to talk about that. But I think there definitely is Dave used the term relief the other day whenever he talked about getting to Omaha, getting back to that situation. And it's not like you get to go into Omaha with zero pressure. But there's certainly, because it's still high-level baseball against really good competition. You still want to win the national championship. Your fans are there. You feel how bad.
Man. Well, started early last time. Now we're going to go with later. That's a great screenshot, though. We need to get that one. So make sure someone gets that one.
We got some great stills of Andrew, man.
Yeah, we do. We're going to have a collection of catalog when it's all said and done. I will say, though, this was going to be something I kind of wanted to pose to you guys about this comparison, because like getting to Omaha is such a big deal. Like in basketball, for instance, is Omaha like getting to the Final Four? Like, is it that type of thing? And then in football, is it to the college football playoff? Like, what is kind of a comparison speaking for like getting to this point across the other major sports in college athletics? So giving fans at least an idea of a feeling of what they can compare it to.
That's a really interesting question. The college football playoff, that kind of makes some sense to me, because I don't know, like I don't think it's quite Final Four, and obviously like there's 8 teams left or whatever, but just the way with how the College World Series is set up, where you've got like the regional format and then the best 2 out of 3 there at the end, it almost doesn't even feel like an Elite Eight. I think the college football playoff might be a pretty good comparison, maybe a little bit heightened compared to that. If we're comparing it to basketball standpoint, if there was something between the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight, maybe I go there. Maybe closer to the Elite Eight. That's a really good question.
It's weird because it's like the answer is 8. Like, obviously that's how many teams are left. But you're right; it doesn't feel the same. And I think it's so unique in college baseball how it's 3 very distinct rounds that have, and really 4 if you get to the finals, that have such a distinct feeling. Whereas in basketball, 1 game feels like such a big deal. It's just it's in unique segments. I think the college football playoff, we don't know. We don't have much sample size to go off of. I think in a decade, we'll look back and have a better idea of how to process it, because there will be more examples in football, but I don't know how to compartmentalize that because we're so far away from that.
I've always felt like it was more Final Four in basketball, only because of, all right, what do you do when you finally make it to the Final Four? Well, you cut down the nets. It's a symbolic thing. What do you do when you make it to Omaha, unless you're Arkansas? You dogpile, like you got the banners and everything, and you it's always getting to that point. It's something that you strive for. It's a big deal. You see it promoted. And I like getting to the Elite Eight, because in basketball, and since we've traveled now, especially this past year of like 2 different places, it's like it goes weekend to weekend. Like getting to the Elite Eight is better than the Sweet 16, but just feels slightly better. But going from the Elite Eight to the Final Four, massive. Same thing with getting to the round of 32. Whatever, but the difference between 32 and 16, massive. So it's almost like the weekend going on there. And so getting the difference between going to the Super Regional and the College World Series is massive. So
that's
I
why I think it's
to that.
The Final Four, because it's like it's kind of that last hump that you get to get over. Whereas I think I see some people saying it's Sweet 16. Does this past basketball season feel like this? I don't know if it was this jubilant.
It's pretty awesome. I don't know. I think it's just because like right now you got to compare it to the situations of the teams too. Like Arkansas now is the best team arguably going into it, or Arkansas in the Sweet 16 even. Like we believe they could have made the Final Four, but it was like, dude, you saw Florida. It's like, geez, Florida, you got to get back them, and then you got to get by Auburn. And not to say that Arkansas had no chance, but it was like those teams still felt like they were a little bit better. With Arkansas baseball right now, any of these teams, I'm like, I don't see them being better than Arkansas right now.
What makes this so difficult to answer is just the ability to take an L and your season not be over.
Yeah,
here with baseball, like you could lose twice in this thing and be okay. That's what makes it so tough for me, because like for the reasons that like Andrew, like you just kind of laid out there, and about the jubilation and the celebration and everything that's involved there, and John talking about like the weekend to weekend thing. From that standpoint, I'm very much like, this is very Final Four-ish. But then I'm like, we get to the Final Four and you lose, it's a wrap. And it's like you can overcome some of that adversity. You also have more games that you have to win to get through the whole thing. So it's very much its own unique deal here. Regardless of where we want to categorize it, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
We can say that.
Yeah, John, you mentioned the context, which obviously matters. That's why that Sweet 16, especially with how that team looked, was such a big deal. But I guess I also look at it in the context of how close you are to the title. And you get to say the city name. Nobody says the city name for the Sweet 16 other than like us when we're booking travel. But like people say like Indianapolis, like we know where the Final Four next year. It's Indianapolis. Omaha has that kind of feel to it. I like that.
Yeah. And I know we'll get to other things too, but this is another thing. I should have used this for my worst of the weekend yesterday, but we need to stop like Stretch Armstrong stretching the Omaha play on team mascot names. You know, like Omahogs is about as perfect as you could get. Like that is perfect. Oma Dogs, it's like, all that. And then I remember Tennessee's the Oma Vols. Oh, okay. Like we got to relax with just stop it. You know, if it comes across natural, that's one thing. But I believe Omahogs was the first one, and it's the best one because it literally has the name Omaha in it. Omahogs. So it's another thing you got to stop doing. But
is
just
it really the first one?
I mean, I think so. I would think.
I honestly don't. I have no clue. I don't remember how far along that goes back.
Yeah. Well,
Oma Beavers.
Yeah, the Oma Beavers. Yeah, it's like the Oma Chanticleers. Like that just doesn't happen. That doesn't feel that good. So either way, I get it. It's cool. Well, and it looks like it's going to be in Omaha for at least the foreseeable future. I guess all postseason for college baseball. There ain't nothing changing. SEC tournament's not changing. The Omaha's not changing. The only thing that will be changing is maybe the naming rights to the stadium because that's changed recently. Because it's still going to be TD Ameritrade to me. I'm just telling you. Charles Schwab, that's great. I'm sure he's a great guy, but TD Ameritrade all the way for me.
No Rosenblatt for you, huh?
Yeah, Rosenblatt. I never went to Rosenblatt. I never got to go to that, but I got to go. Yeah, would have been cool.
We should. The three of us should go there because they still have like where Rosenblatt was. There's like a little like wiffle ball field there. We can take pictures.
Yeah, we may do that. We may do that. We want to get to what to watch here in just a second, but first, folks, we got a little bit of announcement. Want to make sure everyone was aware of that on social media, but we are really excited to welcome one of our newest sponsors here and partnerships on Inside Arkansas, Macadoodles. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They sell beer and fine wine and spirits. And what's crazy is a lot of people don't know it. They actually have a location up in Omaha, Nebraska. It's pretty new. They are really excited. Big Razorback fans. In fact, the general manager up there at that store is a recent U of A grad and a diehard Razorback fan. And we're going to be doing a live show with Inside Arkansas Live there on Friday up in Omaha at 3409 South 72nd Street. So we're really looking forward to that. And a couple of things real quick, because these are actually, there's a lot of different deals we're going to tell you about throughout the week. But I think the only one that Razorback fans need to care about or should even care about is the fact that, one, if you're a Razorback fan, you get free ice. It's going to be hot and you need ice. You get free ice with every purchase. And Busch Light 30 packs, big old case, $16.88. Come on now. That's 50 cents a beer pretty much. Come on now. You got to get a better deal than that.
John, how much room are we going to have in your truck on the way home for me to stock up on about 8 cases just to bring back?
Give me through
the summer to baby time. Yeah, we gotta take advantage of that, man. That's insane.
Yeah,
stock up for the winter. I like that.
Yeah. Stock up for the winter. Stock up for the tailgate. Stock up for the celebrations, because I know a lot of you are going to be taking those Busch lattes and doing some stone cold action and throwing them back on you when you win the College World Series. So get you plenty of them. So either way, we're excited about that. We're going to be up there in Omaha noon on Friday. We're going to be at the Macadoodles there in Omaha telling you all about it. So if you're a Razorback fan, that's the thing. It's exclusive rights. Razorback fans only are the ones that get the free ice. Okay. And again, great deals up there. And we'll tell you more about it, but we're really excited about that and to have them on board with us here at Inside Arkansas. And we'll have some other news and some other announcements of some new partnerships here this week that we are really excited about as well. But tell you what, let's go ahead and get into a little what to watch for action presented by our friends over at Bryant Technologies, where they are dedicated to delivering that high quality network infrastructure and security camera solutions to you, where they take pride in their exceptional workmanship and commitment to keeping your business operations seamlessly connected and secure. Whether it's structured cabling, security camera installation, digital signage, or TV mounting, Bryant Technologies has you covered, where they service the entire state of Arkansas as well as the Arkansas bordering states. So have Bryant Technologies help you with all your network and security needs. You can give them a call today at 870-883-0330 or check out their website at bryantstechnologies.com with that S in between, bryantstechnologies.com. It's Bryant Technologies, quality work guaranteed. Now, I, of course, looking at things that I do for show prep, like the day before, if there's something that interests me or whatnot. But for what to watch, I kind of had to just change it all up today. I know everyone's in baseball mode, but we had some basketball news happen as far as the scheduling goes. Some of it may have already been at least a little bit known. But how about we'll start with scheduling. Arkansas non-conference matchup against the Houston Cougars, not in Madison Square Garden, but in the Barclay Center up there in the Northeast. How about that? Pretty much set in stone happening, and what a great matchup it's going to be up there in the Northeast.
Yeah, that's big time, man. I kind of thought about Arkansas versus Houston maybe at Dallas, where we were at for that Baylor game last year, John, at American Airlines. Like, that would have made a lot of sense. It kind of felt like it was just a matter of time before Arkansas and Houston started playing again for obvious reasons. But then, like John Calipari's connection and friendship with Kelvin Sampson. I know you guys probably remember the story Cal told about Kelvin Sampson telling him, hey, don't worry about leaving your guys at Kentucky. They can leave you whenever the heck they want, man. Like, that's just the way it is now. And kind of gave him a little bit more incentive to feel better about making the jump and everything like that. So this is a big time matchup, and Madison Square Garden is it's the Mecca, and that would have been awesome. But I'm cool with Barclays Center, man, because we've already done the MSG thing. Let's get to another venue up there. New York City around Christmas time is going to be electric. Like, there's very few better places to be that time of year than that. Now, book your plane tickets, folks, because it's going to be expensive to get down around there the week of Christmas. I think the game's December 20th, I think is what we saw there. But just a big time matchup. It might be Arkansas's last non-conference game before SEC play starts. They may have one more. It depends on when the league wants to start this year. Heck of a matchup. Houston's got the potential to be a preseason number one. They've got, 3 starters returning from a national runner-up and a really good class coming in. And we know that they're going to be very tough and physical and defensive-minded. And it's going to be a great test for the Razorbacks before league play. I'm pumped, man.
You mentioned the timing of it. Like, that's the thing. Is Arkansas played Baylor really early in the season when it really wasn't a good time for Arkansas to do that. Obviously, I don't think there's ever a good time to play Houston, but I think, what you're saying is like, it kind of lines up perfectly. But you were our one representative in Madison Square Garden, which is, of course, like, that's the Mecca, like, that's the cool venue. But this is actually kind of an overall cooler setup, especially since you've already done MSG, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have been pumped to get back there to Madison Square Garden. Although, Andrew, I know for sure you remember because you were on the post game with me, and I had the man in the suit eagle eyeing me after the game, trying to get me the heck out of there. Maybe it'll be a little bit nicer at Barclays. We can get a Pot at the Palace post game in without being harassed too much. But yeah, no, I'm excited, man. Any new venues like that you can get into, NBA Arena will be awesome. And what I remember the most, and we'll see what it looks like with around the holiday and everything like that. But man, the amount of Razorback fans who showed up for that game against Michigan last year at Madison Square Garden was crazy. Like, the atmosphere was charged up. It really did feel like an NCAA tournament type of game. And I hope that we get that again against a really, really good Houston team. It would be really cool. It's a great spotlight opportunity for the program, the fan base, and everything.
You think Jay-Z will be there?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Also, was it the house that Joe Johnson built? I don't know. I feel like he was at like the Brooklyn Nets when they first was, because it was Joe Johnson. I feel like they had like a big 3.
It was a wash big 3. Him, Paul Pierce, and KG were all like 38 in there.
Yeah.
And they tried to do it again, right? With, who was it? KD and
Harden.
Yeah, that's right. Who's the other one? Was it Kyrie? Kyrie, yeah.
I think he played like 30 games in Brooklyn.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Brooklyn was troubled with that. But no, it's going to be exciting. And I know we talk about, but man, that's the excitement of the Cal factor. There's never a game, matchup, location that will be like shocking to me that Arkansas was able to pull off. I am still waiting for when they play on a tanker, like we've seen it happen before. Or is there something like that? Or maybe be able to play on a runway, something like that in the military. So something happened?
Yeah. Well, no, I hadn't done this yet, and I was looking. It's a Saturday game.
Yeah, it's Saturday. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. It was I think it was like a Tuesday night or Wednesday night or something. When we played against Michigan down there, that being a Saturday game. Man, oh man, yeah, this could be electric, fellas. That's exciting.
Yeah. You could go to that, and then maybe even go to like the Birmingham Bowl the week before, for Arkansas. So if they make it to that,
that's exactly right. Yeah, maybe we get lucky and they can squirm their way into the Pinstripe Bowl or something. We could just hang out up there for a week or something.
Yeah. I think I'll be able to. That'll be like the day of my my family Christmas with my extended family, and I think that'll be the timing of the game. Will be like, all right, guys, hey, gotta go to the post game. Sorry,
it's a great out. Yeah,
here's a T-shirt. I'm out.
And it's also fun too because of just the fact that I saw someone Razorback fan maybe tweeted at the Razorback account or maybe the report, whatever it was, but they're just like, man, Razorback basketball is going to break my bank of trying to go to all these games that are in such cool locations. Because that's what's cool. It's like, most of the time you get maybe one really cool location. It's a cool team. But shoot, like the schedule hasn't even been finalized yet. And you got for sure 2 or 3 non-conference that are going to be awesome on the road in cool locations. So,
that's
save your money.
It doesn't get much better than Chicago and New York City for some games there. Maybe they could just add one in Vegas and we could just have the trifecta of awesome time zone games.
Cal, don't do it. Don't do it. I can't afford all that, man. It'd be so much fun though to have it happen. But the other news though in Razorback basketball, according to the man himself, John Rothstein, but I wouldn't say it's surprising, but it is a little bit of a bummer that Arkansas will be facing Kentucky. In the upcoming season, but it'll only be one game, and it's going to be in Bud Walton Arena. So no home and home, no trip back to Lexington for us guys this basketball season. I even tweeted at old Matt Jones, our boy from Kentucky Sports Radio, said we'd love to host you. We don't have a cool sports bar yet, but maybe at that time we'll be given one. And but either way, we'd love to have them. And there we go. Go to Foghorns, just hang out. But no, truly, we'd love to have them. It'd be a lot of fun. Hopefully, some of them make the trip. I'm sure they will. But either way, disappointing. But hey, it is what it is. At least you get the return trip in Bud Walton against Kentucky this year.
Yeah, that'll be really exciting. Hopefully, eventually by the way, if Rothstein's putting that out, that means that we'll get the SEC opponents released here probably by the end of the week, which is cool. And like they do the dates and everything a little bit later. So we'll get to see what the actual layout looks like. But from the sounds of it, just based on that, it seems like they're just kind of doing what we expected, which is flipping the schedule from last year in terms of location. But yeah, man, listen, I said it at the time when we walked out of Rupp Arena that I felt like Arkansas fans booed John Calipari louder at Bud Walton Arena when he was with Kentucky than Kentucky fans booed John Calipari at Rupp Arena when he was with Arkansas. And, after everything that went down in that game, and the build up and everything to that. And, Arkansas was able to get the win there, but there was so much emotion and everything for this to be run back now at Arkansas. Razorback fans, don't forget. All right. I'm not saying don't be gracious hosts, be gracious hosts because they were us. The weirdos on the internet aren't real. Everybody in Lexington was awesome, but come game time, make that an experience that they never forget, man. And between, having that, and, John Calipari representing Arkansas against his old team in there in Bud, but also Arkansas has a lot of returners, including DJ Wagner, who went through that experience last year, getting booed every time he touched the damn basketball for a 40-minute game. There was a lot going on there, and Arkansas being able to return the favor is sick. And this, if you're going to screw it up and not let them play twice, at least get it right. Have it on a Saturday, get College game day in there. Let's do this thing the way that it's supposed to be done this time around.
Yeah, I agree. And I got to be honest, I'm fully on board with there only being one game and it being in Bud Walton. Like, I think it builds more anticipation. Like, the longer, like the fewer times that these teams play, the more hype there's going to be around each game. There was one last year, one this year. Maybe next year we do both, but I'm cool with this.
Yeah. Like I said, as long as it's here and not just only in Lexington. But it's just one of those things. I was talking to one of the KSR guys, but it's just like, does the SEC hate money? Do they hate eyeballs and ratings? I just don't understand for a league, for a sport that's driven by money and eyeballs. You have 2 easy home run games right there. Boom. Just make it happen. So I don't understand it, but either way, maybe fans, when DJ Wagner touches the ball there in Bud Walton, everybody cheers instead. Just
Every
over
single
the
time.
top. Just
That's a great
Every
idea.
dribble.
every dribble, every time he touches the ball, just everyone cheers. And another thing too, guys, because I know we'll have some other things to get to. I know everyone will forget, but please, Razorback fans or the University of Arkansas, I don't care who is in charge of it. I don't care who's responsible for whatever it is. The Kentucky fans are going to travel. Do not give up all your great seats on third-party websites to a bunch of blues. Do not let this game, where people are watching on TV, see nothing but Kentucky blue across the court with great seats because y'all didn't use them or sold them to, third-party websites or whatever it is. Like, go to this game. Do not let the Kentucky faithful take over, because you guys remember, there wasn't many Razorback fans. I think us three made up about 33% of all the Razorback fans in that place. Do not let Kentucky have a bunch of fans there and making it to where you can hear them on TV and whatnot. Just don't do that. That's all I'm asking.
Students should also get like a 3-week seminar leading up to that game. There should be training courses.
I'll teach it.
Led by John Neighbors.
I'll teach it, dude.
Exactly. And also,
gladly.
Don't do Sharkensaw when Kentucky comes to town.
Thank you.
Do the Clifford the dog thing. Don't do Sharkensaw.
Yeah. And also don't, you Bucks, that little fraternity or whatever, don't wear your stupid purple ties and stuff for that game, because on TV they look blue and that's dumb. How about this? Wear Razorback colors and do those things. How about
There's
that?
An idea. Yeah.
What a novel concept. Wearing the color of the team you support. Sheesh. So, anyways, it's gonna be fun though. I know basketball season's seems like light years away, but still some excitement surrounding it, and got some scheduling news for that too. So, all right, we'll get some other things going on here, but first, I do want to ask the Alumni Hall question of the day, folks, presented by our friends over at Alumni Hall. Because let's be honest, you're a Razorback fan, you want those Razorback colors at that Kentucky game. Well, I can tell you, Alumni Hall doesn't have any of that blue nonsense in there. They ain't got none of that yellow nonsense in there unless it's for a good cause. They got Razorback red through and through, and they got all the great apparel. So you can check them out today by going to 3417 North College Avenue, or shop them online at InsideArkansas.com/Alumni Hall. Use that promo code HOGS20 for 20% off. They got their Omaha gear too, Omaha Hogs gear. So go and check them out. Use our code, get 20% off with Alumni Hall. I was just curious, since now we know the official setup of the College World Series, all 8 teams. Shout out to Murray State getting it done against the Duke Blue Devils yesterday. Good to see. But I was just curious. Everyone knows it's LSU, right? Because that's your next game for one. And I think most people know, according to BetSaracen, second highest odds to win the College World Series. But besides LSU, guys, which team in the College World Series concerns you the most? Of the other 6 that you could potentially face at any point in time, which team concerns you the most not named LSU?
As much as I don't want to say Oregon State, it's probably them. Although, I was doing some research on UCLA and Arizona and stuff yesterday. It's kind of hard not to look, to go too far beyond Coastal, man. They haven't lost a freaking baseball game since April, and I know it's not the toughest league or whatever over there, but when you've made it through, a regional and a super unscathed, and you haven't lost in like 2 months, that's also pretty damn impressive. So I would say Oregon State first and Coastal second for me.
I agree with that exact order. And I'd probably put UCLA behind Coastal, and there's not a ton of separation there. Here's my thing. All year long, the only way to beat Arkansas is to have a lot of talent. And that's what LSU has, and that's what Oregon State has. And even if you have a lot of talent, it's hard to beat them. Arkansas really hasn't struggled hardly at all outside of one game against Missouri State, and even that was kind of close, against teams that they're superiorly more talented than. And Arkansas would be that against Coastal, would be that against Arizona, would be that against UCLA, and certainly against Murray State. Against LSU, it's comparable. Against Oregon State, it's comparable. Those are the only 2 teams that really strike any fear into me in terms of beating Arkansas. Especially Coastal would have to beat them twice, like 2 out of 3. I don't think so.
Yeah, good point.
Well, the only choice is, of course, because I get 4 on the old Twitter machine, but it was Coastal Carolina, Oregon State, UCLA, because those are the other 3 teams that had the highest odds, and then the other, which you could have listed out. But they say not surprising, but still, Oregon State leads the way at 50%. 50% say Oregon State. Gee, I wonder why. But they're at 50%. Coastal Carolina's at 38%. So a pretty strong showing for them. UCLA at 5.5%. And then the other sitting there at 6.5% for what is going to be held. But I'm trying to see if and then, of course, people are always great because when I say, hey, list the team, no one does. So great. That was a great vote. First, appreciate that. So anyways, just the field besides those other three teams.
UCLA's been pretty impressive, low key. I don't think they've lost yet here in the postseason. So they're no slouch or whatever. They're not on the same level as Arkansas or LSU or whoever from a talent standpoint. They've been pretty good though. Bring me the Beaver, though.
Curtis? The one game they lost this postseason. Actually, I lied. They have lost two because they split with Oregon State or Florida State the first two, but they lost their first game of their regional to a 4 seed and won out from there. So you already have some experience doing that, piecing it together. That's also what Oregon State did in 2018. Lost their first game in Omaha and then won 4 straight. So,
yeah, I'll just say that if it ends up being Oregon State, I have a certain bet made with a certain someone about this. So I really hope it comes through. It'll end up good for me though if Arkansas wins. I can tell you that.
Does it involve Snapchat?
No, come on, please.
Okay.
No, let's be honest. It's called real photos and pictures. Come on. Either way, let's go ahead before I get myself into any more trouble than I'm already in, I'm sure, and get into the checking of the chat with the vibes presented by our friends over at Basis Health, where they're changing the way healthcare is delivered by providing mobile medical visits to the comfort of your very own home. The doctor will come to your home for urgent care, primary care, IV hydration, and so much more. It's Basis Health. They are here for you when and where you need them the most. You can learn more at basishealth.org today, or you can scan that QR code. Appreciate them. Appreciate our guy, Dre, being a part of us here at Inside Arkansas. So, all right. So a few chats here that I'm sure are going to be some bangers. Tuna's House of Influence comes in hot, says, if Arkansas wins the World Series, y'all got to wait until August to mention football. If we lose, y'all can start at your leisure deal.
Listen, Tuna, I would love for this to be a real thing that happens in the world, but I know, all three of us know, everyone in the chat knows, as soon as baseball season ends, everybody's going to be asking about who's the third team right guard. Like, let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or they'll be talking basketball still, which perfectly fine with me, but that like we will eventually talk football and people will be begging for that soon, like in July.
Yeah. I was going to say, because when is the absolute final day? The 23rd of the World Series, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So say if Arkansas won it on the 23rd, I think, leading up into the rest of the month of June, baseball carries because you got the celebrations and all that. And then once July 1st hit, or July 4th, maybe even the holiday, everyone's like, all right, so I guess, who's Sam Pittman bringing to media days? It's just going to turn into that.
Yeah. Here's our 5 burning questions for Sam Pittman at media day. Yeah.
It's like, I can't wait. But officially, though, we'll be having representation there at SEC Media Days. So I'm pretty stoked about it. I know that I'm probably real quick story, guys. I called today and got they're doing it different this year, where it's always been Radio Row, but now you can have, they don't call it Radio Row, but they have tables, or they have 10 by 10 spaces. So if you have a podcast or a live stream like what we do, they give you an entire space to where you can deck it out however you want. You can put up banners, you can have all this stuff. Kind of cool. I always bring the EA Sports College Football video game, so I was like, that'll be great. Either way, called the lady, always nice, got it all set, it squared away. And she's knowing us from Arkansas. She's like, oh, wow. So you're going to be going up to Omaha? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, man, you guys went to Providence. You guys went to San Francisco. You went there. And he's like, and going to Atlanta. Man, you're busy. And she's like, wait, when's your vacation going to be? And I told her, and I was actually serious. It's like, ma'am, the SEC Media Days is kind of my vacation because I do really enjoy it. And she's like, oh, that's sad.
That is sad, John.
I was like, yeah, that is sad.
Your vacation is spent with Sam Pittman. Well, actually, that sounds pretty fun.
You need to take at least a long weekend between that and camp, or before that. Give yourself some time, buddy.
I think at SEC Media Days, our goal should be to get Sam Pittman to invite us to the lake house.
Sure, that'll happen.
We're gonna have to really put in some work.
Well, we're gonna have to get you to relax a little bit.
Yeah. One of the many things that probably won't happen. Listen, the reason I think that is because I have a lot of friends that are at Media Days. And it's like going to see your friends, you hang out, there's cool events at night. And that is one thing, SEC Media Days, man, every night they have major events, all expense paid at cool spots. It's at the College Football Hall of Fame this year too, which is going to be fun. So I know it's boring football, but it's it's going to be a good time. But I just wanted to let everybody know. Let's see. Our guy John Sullivan says, "Good afternoon, fellas. It's kind of scary how confident I am in our Hogs to go win this thing for DVH." Well, don't be scared.
Don't let it be scary.
Confidence and scary are two words that should not be used in the same sentence.
Yeah. What about Dave? What about Dave Van Horn this postseason and this Razorback baseball team this postseason has you scared? I mean, that's kind of what I look at. I can understand it if it's like one thing's been bad and you just scraped by and got lucky, but there's nothing that makes me scared other than just the fact of maybe having a bad game, which there's nothing you can do about that. But yeah, you shouldn't be scared right now.
I won't be scared unless they lose Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I got to be honest with you. They would win. I feel confident in that, but I want nothing to do with an elimination game against that Murray State team. Like I don't want to see that, bro. No, thank you.
I'm with that. Listen, nobody's unbeatable. Arkansas is not unbeatable, but it's going to take someone pretty big and strong to beat them. You know what I mean? Like it's going to take a Herculean effort, which look can happen, but I don't look at this team and be like, oh man, they could get caught by anyone. Like they're going to have to get taken down by a giant.
Yeah. That's kind of how I look at it too. It's like they're going to have
King Kong on the Empire State Building. Like you're going to have the choppers swirling and everything. It's going to take a group effort.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you, and that's what gets me excited about it. But I'm with you as far as like say if you go up against Coastal Carolina, everyone's rooting against you. The entire college baseball world is rooting against you because they are the darling team that everyone's going to be rooting for, or Murray State. That they'll be there too. So I will say, I think the only team that the college baseball landscape of people will be rooting for you in might be game one, and that's it. Like, because I would say more people hate LSU than they hate Arkansas, generally speaking. So,
and people want Dave to win. There's a lot of people who don't realize it yet. But I actually got a text from a buddy from LSU who said he was like, I low key like want Dave to win a title. I don't want him to win this year, but I want him to win a title.
Yeah, I feel like it's just weird because man, I know Cal's different. But we, now that we know Cal a little bit, it's like Arkansas's three biggest coaches are like nice guys that are easy to root for. I know people don't root for Cal as much, but still, he's a nice guy. It's not like he's a jerk. So I don't know. I don't know if I like that part. I don't want to be liked. Let's see. Joe once said, "Can we address ticket prices? It's got to be the most for round one College World Series ever. Holy smokes, has to be pretty expensive, pretty pricey. But I mean."
Doesn't it go down kind of as the event goes along?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The title series will be cheaper than anything.
Yeah. And it's always dependent on who's in it. Like say if it was Arkansas and LSU in the College World Series finals.
Oh man.
You ain't getting a ticket. But yeah, if it ends up being Arkansas and Arizona or something like that. Yeah. Jeez. Okay, sorry. If you want to go to the game, this is according to StubHub. I just brought him up. But right now, the cheapest ticket you can get for the game with Arkansas and LSU is $280. The next expensive ticket for a game is Oregon State and Louisville at $82. So to give you a little bit of perspective.
That's how it was with Providence. Like the rest of the NCAA tournament, I was looking at all these other sites that had like $27 tickets, and in Arkansas was like $190 for the cheapest one.
Yeah. Coastal Carolina and Arizona, though, you can get in there for like, a sandwich. It's like $35, but still.
What's the capacity in there?
It's like 30-something thousand.
Dang. Okay.
That's a good question, actually. Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's massive.
It's like an MLB park, basically.
Right.
Like there's an upper deck. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to guess 36K.
It is 24,000 according to the Google. So
I gave him what is that? A 50% increase?
Yeah.
Still a lot.
It's the size of a major league baseball park. I mean,
yeah, it's like two of Baum Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like pretty much double the biggest college ones.
I love that Creighton plays there. It's like what's the most capacity you've ever had in there? Like 20%? Come on.
Yeah, no, dude, they've never had 1,000 there.
Yeah. Would you guys like to know the type of surface that they play on?
Let's hear it.
Kentucky bluegrass.
Yeah.
All these little facts that they threw in here too. So I can give you also, if anybody's curious, the architects or the main contractors, let me know. I'll throw them.
Each on their Wikipedia page or just.
Yeah, I just Googled it.
Give me the dimensions actually of the field real quick.
What's up?
Give me the dimensions of the walls real quick.
I'm very curious about left field because Arkansas has been sneaking them out of there.
I think it's at least 330, isn't it?
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So this is the one thing that's probably I'm going to have to actually dig for and search.
All right. I thought you had all the info. My bad, bro.
It's like they give me the coordinates on the globe of where they're at, but like heaven forbid that they actually give me just a. All right, here we go. So left line's 335 feet. Left center's 375. Center is 308. So, and it's the same way across. It's not one of those stupid ballparks that has like a zigzag like or something. So
yeah.
Because Arkansas is what, 320? Bomb is 320 in left.
320 left, 330 right. Or 320 right. And it's 375 in left center, 365 right center.
Interesting.
And 400 straight away.
Okay. So if you hit a home run in this ballpark, you've earned it. So, but either way. Yeah, ticket prices are expensive. And I'm sure you guys have been asked about it. I'm just going to say it here. I don't know how the best way to get tickets. I truly don't. Like, this is an NCAA event. It's a different animal. It's a different ball game. It's not like, you just get a call from the Razorback Foundation. They're like, hey, here's a free ticket. It's just a matter of you finding ways. So want to let everybody know. And that's a great segue into this comment by our guy Hazelwood. I farted this morning and threw out my bag, but no injured soldiers for Omaha locked in.
There we go.
Come on, man.
Problems, man. That's what fighting does to you.
Yeah. You're lucky I read this, Hazelwood, without a super chat attached to it. I mean, come on, man. Gotta
John, next time you see Hazelwood, get him to tell the story of his Bud Walton skirmish.
It's a good one.
Oh, okay.
It's the one I think it is. I don't know if he's had multiple.
I made him tell you one time, so yeah, it's definitely.
I have to look into that then and hear and look forward to it. Let's say Grant says, I want to bring this. Remember, guys, according to a guy from John's Locked On episode this morning, if you say Arkansas is good and you feel good about their chances in the World Series, you're not a true fan. I don't know what this is. I was not on my Locked On podcast.
Maybe it's like
I have a guest on my podcast, so I don't know who you're referring to, Grant. But
there might be a fight in your comments,
which I never read. So I'm just letting y'all know. I post Locked On and I get out. Like, that's as quickly as possible.
I do love when fans do both ends of this where they're like, don't be overconfident, guys. It's going to be bad. And then there's some that are like, guys, you have to be confident. Like, you have to believe or else it's like Santa Claus.
Yeah. It's like my thing is I get it. Like, if you're nervous and anxious, but yeah, if you're just like, don't be confident, I'm like, then stay home. Like, go home. What's the point? There's 0 point if you don't believe that you can truly win, especially this year for Arkansas. If you're afraid of getting hurt, okay, but you have no control on that. I know people get these superstition, crazy things. You have 0 control on what happens on that field. So just believe. I feel like that's so lame, but still, you got to believe. Let's see. See, Swoosh says, can't wait for you guys to do the live show in Omaha. I don't have social media, so hopefully you guys can stay on the podcast. The locations. Yeah. As of right now, it's kind of a hodgepodge. But as we mentioned, we'll be at Macadoodles up in Omaha, Nebraska on Friday. Sunday, we will be at Rocco's at noon for a live show there, the Jello Shot place. So we'll do that. And then the vast majority of our other spot will be DJ's Dugout. So we're going to be kind of all over the place, showing off all that the great city of Omaha has to offer, but keeping you updated on that. And we'll get up there. And of course, I don't know if you guys know this, but I usually try to post, cool stuff like the food I'm eating in the city I'm in, which upsets so many people. But I'll be sure to let everybody know where we're at. Let's see.
We're going to the zoo.
I was going to think about this, guys. Like, we need to talk about it. Do we need to go? Curtis, are you a zoo guy?
We'll wait until Curtis comes.
I'll go to the zoo.
Okay, so we'll wait.
We'll have an off day at some,
Mm-hmm. Then we'll really take pictures. Like, we can do like what was it? Remember the KJ Jefferson, Drew Morgan picture of them feeding the giraffe, like the 4 of them, and it was really weird because none of them looked like they really wanted to do it.
Was that in like Tampa or something?
Yeah, that was for the Outback Bowl. So we'll just recreate that.
I just either want to go. I want to go early or late.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say we gotta wait. If there's a day where it's cloudy and not raining, that's when we go because it's hot. Yeah,
it gets warm. Real quick, if you had an animal at the zoo you'd look forward most to seeing? Who would it be? What kind of animal?
Man, I'm a big penguin guy.
Big penguin.
Like penguins?
Big penguin guy. Yeah. And
I mean,
I
it's
like
hard to-
crabs.
I mean, a lion is top tier. I love seeing just a big mane, you know, a
Yeah.
pride.
I don't know. I think a gorilla is just cool because I know it's built like a linebacker, and I'd love to see it play football, but it won't. You know.
Well, it's the worst is when you go to it and then the animals are asleep.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I want to see him get around and interact a little bit. I want to see him because gorillas are fun to watch, and when they're up and active and moving around and arguing over stuff, fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like in any environment, including a zoo? Snake. That is, I
Those,
still need to
those
see 'em.
indoor things.
Yeah.
I like snakes if they're not close and I have like a huge thick glass in between us and I can just stare from afar. But yeah, I'm not.
If I see one, I'll have a bad dream about it, you know?
The more I think about it, the apes, gorillas, any type of, even the chimpanzees, like just the monkeys they're up there.
Yeah, it's kind of sickening, but it's like I like the animals that I know would kill me if I was in the wild. Those are my favorite ones to see.
Love the thought of being slaughtered, you know?
Yeah, because like I don't want to ever see them, but that's the only time I would ever be in a situation where I'd see them. So, yeah, hopefully they got good locks on the doors and good fences up there over at the Omaha Zoo.
I know we're doing a lot of zoo talk, but I know that like it's kind of frowned upon zoos, right? Like with like PETA and like all the animal activists, they all seem to be doing fine whenever I'm there. Like they have big areas to explore. They all seem to be doing just fine.
Fed well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They don't have to hunt for their meals every night. Yeah. God forbid. We give them a little plate full of steak. Yeah. God forbid.
Yeah. I think they're pretty happy. You
Now,
know?
SeaWorld is not included in this. When it's the whales and the big the water animals, they need to be out in the ocean.
Yeah, we need to just like Free Willy. That was the whole point of that movie. I know that. Let's see. Paddlefish says, "Will you be staying the entire 11 days if we continue to advance?" Yes, we at Inside Arkansas will be there for as long as the Razorbacks are there. Plain and simple.
Electric.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I will say that's the one advantage. I love basketball postseason. So we had so much fun. But man, that is the advantage of the baseball postseason is just knowing, like, where no matter what, we know Fayetteville's this, Fayetteville that, Omaha. Not having to worry about booking flights and getting crazy with it, and trying to figure out and make sure that you get a flight that's at a reasonable place. Not worrying about luggage getting lost, any of that crap.
Especially if you can find a place to call home for that entire time.
Man,
because I know Andrew, I remember a few years ago when you went with some of the other guys and you guys were like bouncing around every night or 2 nights to different places and having to drive a long way and everything like that. So I think we're in a pretty good situation here. So
night and day better. That's honestly the thing I'm looking forward to the most is like just reflecting on how different everything was in the world back then. Like at least for my life, that was when me and John became boys. Though he doesn't remember it.
No, I don't. Oh no. You weren't worthy of my time then, Andrew, apparently. At least that's how you always make me feel. So
well, every time I'm like, oh, hey, dude, you remember that? Was like the first time we hung out. You're like, I don't remember that.
I don't.
Did I see you in Omaha? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, there are reasons why I may not have remembered. I'm just saying. There's a lot going on, It was hot. A lot of things. But don't worry. As far as staying, though, we got a sweet Airbnb that we're going to be staying up in. So we really appreciate that. But also, I'm just going to be honest, guys. Arkansas wins the College World Series. I might be spending the night on the streets of Omaha. Like, I don't know where I don't know where I'm going to end up. I may be sleeping in Rocco's. I may be sleeping at DJ's dugout. I may just sleep outside. I may sleep on the couch in the media or in the hotel where the Razorbacks are staying. I don't know. But
I might sleep on home plate.
Yep. Yeah. If we just find out, it's going to look like Jonestown out there with Razorback fans. Just everyone's passed out across the entire city of Omaha. Sheesh.
We're gonna be flipping cars. It's gonna be a mess,
Oh yeah, it's Omaha. Arkansas is gonna get banned, and that's fine because you won a title. SCT said, Andrew, did you see Duke's coach is heading to Virginia?
I did see that, and I also saw that LSU's recruiting coordinator is most likely headed to Duke, which is interesting. So a little bit of a double cross there.
To be a recruiting coordinator or to be their head coach?
Wait, what'd you say?
Is he going to go there to be their recruiting coordinator or to be their head coach?
He's going to be he's the it's his job to lose for the head coaching job at Duke.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I saw some people saying they should have hired Murray State's coach.
I mean,
he wouldn't have to cut his own grass anymore.
No, he wouldn't. I think they worked that in the contract. Hey, come here. We cut your grass. What a deal. All right. So, Big Lefty says, going to Omaha will also help with the transfer portal / high school recruiting. The media team needs to capitalize on the 2 weeks up there.
I have no doubt they will. I will also say, I don't know if everybody saw this or not, but reportedly, sources are saying, according to the Maryland sources, the number one shortstop in the portal, arguably the number one player, depending on where you look, is allegedly visiting Arkansas today. He was at A&M 2 days ago, then went to Texas, and he has a hard to pronounce last name. His first name is Chris, though, so we'll stick with that.
Yeah, those are my favorite ones where I have to learn how to pronounce their names and never get it right. Those are my favorite.
The two best shortstops in the country right now are guys who have hard names to pronounce. Yeah. Ava Arquette also fits that criteria, maybe, and he's at Oregon State. Oregon State, he's good.
Big shoes to fill. So they need to get a player in there, and they will.
Yeah.
But I love that they're recruiting, because that's always a thing I think about. Because Arkansas got a big head start last year in the portal because they weren't playing ball. They were recruiting against some of these other teams. I love that they're getting in some visits this week before they leave.
Yeah. I was going to say that I feel like college baseball players, especially, maybe just baseball players in general, it's either names you can't pronounce or names that are just so absurd. Like a kid named Cheddar, but it's Chetter. And I'm like, what? Okay. Like, do we need, why? You know, they always have incredible names. I give them credit for it, but they're just wild. Austin from work says, can y'all explain why you guys get representation at SEC Media Days, but not with the university?
Cannot explain that. No,
there's no explanation. But to give the, I guess, actual explanation, because the SEC likes people like us and likes to have people covering their event, and they are very accommodating to it. Also, because it costs money to go, I'm sure that they like having the money, but they like having a lot of people covering it and a lot of people doing it and as much exposure as possible. So it's a pretty novel concept, if you ask me. Let's see. We'll see you later says, can you still buy tickets for the outfield at a cheap price in 2018? It was first come, first serve for $30. I think they got rid of this, didn't they?
I don't know. You have to get in early, but you can get tickets like if you buy them ahead of time, especially. But like at this point, good luck getting those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And at this point,
which, first come, first serve is true, but there's a lot that come and a lot that are served.
Yeah. I was going to say this, if you wanted the whole session for this weekend, it's $1,700 if you wanted to go that route.
Good grief.
For Friday through Wednesday, you get all sessions for, almost $1,800. That include fees. So no telling how much that is, but yeah. Let's see. David said, how many podcasts do you think you're going to be going live from Rocco's? As right now, just one, because I don't know if people know this. It's a pretty popular spot. And there's going to be some people that are going to be doing a lot of shows there too. I guess Chris Phillips, I think, is doing his show on Monday from there for Rocco's. So, but yeah, listen, like I like Rocco's. It's all good, but there's a lot of cool places. It's not just Rocco's. There's other cool places there. Like DJ's Dugout is an awesome spot. It's a place I've ventured to. I know, Andrew, you've been to, and they do a really good job there, and big accommodations for Razorback fans. So, if you want to go to a place, that's a good spot where a lot of Razorback fans are going to be at too. And finally, Hustle Hog just says, Curtis, I'm so hungry I could eat Warren Lawson.
Okay.
You want to tell us who Warren Lawson is?
I'm not entirely sure who he's referring to. I know a Lawson Warren. So if that's I don't know how this individual would know Lawson Warren, but it is a big fella to eat.
Have y'all seen this trend of people that do this where they'll be like talking to their parents and they'll like find a random Facebook friend or like someone that like their coworker and they'll just be like, oh, I'm so hungry I could eat Bill James or whatever.
No.
I haven't seen that. Jeez. Let's see. Also, Cody says, what happened to in-game streams? Always enjoyed those. Well, I mean, a lot of it's just because we're at the games and can't do live streaming while we're there. But I know we've talked about it, and once it gets to this point, but in football season, we're definitely going to be doing that for road games, especially getting back to that. And because we enjoy them. I mean, we're going to watch the games anyway, so might as well have fun talking about it. Maybe we'll do them at a cool location. So
that would be cool for football to do all the road games, like little in-game streams for those. We were thinking if Arkansas had made the SEC tournament championship, which I know it wasn't like the biggest deal in the world, we were going to do one for that, but they didn't make it. Or even
nope. Yeah. Let's see. Also, to Ben says, y'all may have already talked about this, but what are your thoughts on reseeding the 8 teams that make the College World Series? That's basically all I see on Twitter right now.
I don't see any reason to do it. Like what? I mean, in this situation, if you're Arkansas and you're playing the best team, yeah, I'd probably want to play Murray State instead. But like what's the why would we need to? We don't do that in any other format, right?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there's, like when we talk about college football and the way that they've done stuff, it's like there was a need for that because a lot of people are complaining about it. I just don't see this situation as like, oh man, this it's terrible now. It needs to change to make it better. I just don't see it that way.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
The bracket's set up the way it is, and it plays out the way that it plays out. I'm fine with it. I understand the thought process behind, like, especially here. I would, like you said, Andrew. Like, I mean, if I was Arkansas, I would much rather play pretty much anyone there besides LSU first. But it's the way it shook out. And if the bracket would have played out, like this was chalk. Like this part of it was how it was destined to be when the bracket came out. Just because everyone else kind of crapped the bed, it's kind of shaped the other parts of the bracket there, and we can't really control that.
We wouldn't be saying it if it was Little Rock. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, and also too, it's like, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to win a championship, you're going to have to face good teams. Like you're going to have to face them. So it's not like, oh, well, we can avoid this team. Well, if they lost to this team over here, then like, why would you think that you would lose? You would beat them or vice versa. Like, I just don't see the logic and the gymnastics there. So
the NFL, I see John said that the NFL does it where like, if you're the 1 seed that gets the bye or whatever, you play the lowest seed no matter what. But it's only for 1 round. Like they don't do that ever. They don't get to the semifinal or get anywhere, and they just reseed things. It's just kind of when you have like a double bye, you get the lowest one. But that's the only one I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get to more of your chats as the show goes on. But let's go ahead and get into who our heavy hitters are, presented by our friends over at HD Roofing and Construction. As we know, storms can hit unexpectedly. So be sure to contact HD Roofing for your peace of mind when it comes to getting a free inspection. When you choose HD Roofing, you can rely on professionalism, top quality materials, and expert installation for all of your roofing needs. You can check out their website at hdarkansas.com, scan the QR code up there, as well as call them today at 501-428-0429. It's HD Roofing. All right, so for my heavy hitter, I wanted to, I got a couple, but this will just be a quick one for me. Since we're talking baseball and all that stuff, shout out to the Oregon State beer wall. I always enjoy things like this when you see them on TV. I think it was, what do they do? Like the cups at stadiums and football games, the cup snakes or the snake cups or whatever. When you do those things, I've seen people at Jerry World with the Cowboy Ritas stack them into like a pyramid. Just getting really creative instead of watching the sporting event and paying attention to. So. Really impressed though, because this was just one group of people with a bunch of Coors Lights and Topo Chicos, it looks like. So, but shout out to that group, build the wall, but in this case, the beer wall up there at Oregon State. And hey, the score was 4-1 when it showed it, and Oregon State ended up having the last laugh of taking care of business and winning it. But yeah, shout out to them for the beer wall. Always appreciate the creativity when it comes to things like this. So
yeah, y'all see on Sunday they had waters.
Did they really? That's good. Even better.
I probably would too if I put together that beer wall the night before or whatever. So yeah, man, always appreciate that for sure. Yeah, I mean, sticking with the baseball theme, mine it's got to be Murray State. Really impressive run for them. Like we look at the bracket and we've said the thing about like, man, it's crazy how all these SEC teams got eliminated and all these national seeds are out of it, and man, this field's real favorable and everything. But once you get here, you freaking earned it. And Murray State certainly has. I mean, they took it to Ole Miss, an Ole Miss team that, bounced Arkansas right out of Hoover there. So they've got some really good players, but that game last night was crazy. I mean, they were on the road at Duke and had that thing under control. And it's the first time I've seen premature and then double dog piles out there. Had the crazy play there on the double play turn where the Duke guy looked like it was a hard slide, but he didn't seem like he was too far out of the baseline. It was like his underneath leg that kind of clipped the dude or whatever. And he gets called out and they do the dog pile, and the coaches got to run out there and be like, hey guys, they're reviewing it, so come on back in. And it would have very easily been a situation there. I mean, like, there's a runner on base and you got to get another out. You just kind of had that exhale of, oh my God, we made it, only to be told, no, actually, like, refocus, get your butts back out there. You got another out to get. That could have gone very, very badly for them, but didn't. Got the ground out to first base, and then, you know, they had already practiced once for the dog pile, and then they had a good one there at the end. So congratulations to those guys. It's a crazy story, a 4 seed in a regional, making it all the way through there to Omaha, and good for them, and good luck until they, you know, see the Hogs.
Absolutely. And I'd love to see them in that 1-0 game. My heavy hitters, multiple, are 2 guys, 2 right-handed pitchers, both from the state of Arkansas, that we are not talking about a ton because they have not thrown in a long time. Will McIntyre has not thrown since he faced Tennessee back in the regular season, and Dylan Carter hasn't thrown since that same weekend as well. These dudes have been super solid for Arkansas, but also I want to just commemorate the story of what both of those guys have kind of been through in their careers to get to this point. Will McIntyre, of course, we've seen him. He's pitched in Omaha. He's pitched in a ton of these games. He's been a huge part of every Arkansas season the last decade. And so it's cool to see him. I mean, he made that decision to come back for a 6th year of college. And they had the clip of him the other day where he's like, best decision I've ever made. Like, that has to warm your heart, even though he wasn't pitching during the NCAA tournament, which I believe his time will be coming because Arkansas is not just going to cruise through this thing without having to use any arms. Dylan Carter, though, this is a dude that was in, you know, went to JUCO out of college and went to the 2019 World Series and was like visualizing it. Like, I want to be here. I want to be here, and I want to pitch for Arkansas. He goes to Arkansas in 2022, red shirts, and was playing summer ball when Arkansas made the College World Series back in 2022, which, you know, I'm sure he was excited for his team. That has to not be a great feeling. You're spending your summer in North Dakota watching your teammates dogpile and watching your teammates go to go to Omaha. Like, that had to be a feeling that I'm sure is stuck with him. He gets banged up in 2023. He was kind of coming back from injury last year. Now he's finally gotten to pitch and be an awesome, you know, big role in the pitching staff. Like, that's a big deal for him, and he was awesome this year. I've been thinking about him a lot lately of, like, those guys have stuck with it for so long, and it's really cool to see them get this reward. And I am excited to see them get a chance to pitch in Omaha. I just hope it's not an elimination game down or something like that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of also heavy hitters, it just came out from Perfect Game USA All-Americans, and Arkansas's got 3 of them. No surprise, Aviva Aloy is a first-team All-American, and Zach Root and Charles Davalon are second-team All-Americans. So there you go.
Who were the other starting pitchers on that list? Did it say, or are you just reading an Arkansas release?
Just saying the Arkansas release, but I'm sure I can pull it up there too. So I was actually
right here.
Okay, I was going to laugh if Aloy was like second-team All-American. That would have been great.
The first-team All-Americans there, starting pitchers: Cade Anderson, LSU; Jamie Arnold, Florida State; Liam Doyle; JB Middleton, Southern Miss; Kyson Witherspoon, Oklahoma; and then the relievers are Antoine Jean from Houston and Lucas Malstedt from Clemson.
Damn, that's 5 SEC, or there's 5 starting pitchers on the first team.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, Zach Root was a controversial first-team All-SEC selection, and I say that like kind of jokingly, but like if you looked at the numbers at the time, Anthony Ianson kind of got robbed. But I see Root get that honor.
Ianson was a second team along with Root, and who else? Yeah, the North Carolina guy, Jake Knapp, Michigan State pitcher, UC Santa Barbara, and then a Vanderbilt reliever was on there as well, Sawyer Hawks.
Interesting. Dude, Charles Davalon making it at outfield, which well-deserved. He's had an awesome year. It is hard to make it as an outfielder. I know there's 3 spots. I mean, maybe even they did 4 for these or whatever. But, like, dude, a lot of the best hitters in the country are playing outfield. Like, all those big sluggers that you see over the years, a lot of them are outfielders. So, like, for Charles Davalon, a dude 5'9" to be in there, that's big-time stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be many awards that's going to continue to come out, and I guess, can you still vote for the Golden Spikes?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
They don't announce it until like right before the finals in Omaha.
Yeah, sure it won't be controversial at all. And it don't matter what, is if Aloy doesn't win, he got screwed. And forget the numbers. It's just the way it's going to be. You
won't even know if he won or not because he's going to be so locked in on the title series. He's going to be dialed.
Even if he did win it, he'd just be like, all right, cool. Like, and just move on. Like,
he'd be like, don't make me do a speech. That's all I care.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd much rather run through the concourse and hang out with the Razorback fans after.
Yeah, he'll be the one who's just like randomly streaking through the streets of Omaha after all this.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get to your chats here in a bit too, folks. But I want to remind everybody too that you got all the specials with BetSaracen, with all the betting that you can do when it comes to not only what you have going on for Razorback Baseball, but in the specials there, but you got all the College World Series, you got NBA Finals going on, you have Major League Baseball, you have everything. So everything in the sports world that you want to start making some money on, start making some money now with the number one sports betting app in the state of Arkansas. It's BetSaracen, far and away, not even close. Check them out today. Get your money if you're feeling the Hogs big time to win it all. They got some plus odds for you, so get to betting there. BetSaracen, download the app on your iPhone or on your Android, or go to BetSaracen.com. Let's see. I was going to bring up a few buy or sells for today. And of course, once again, I didn't put them into the little thing, and that's fine. But either way, I'll start to put those in. The first one, though, we'll go ahead and jump into a lot of them baseball related, as you can imagine. But buy or sell that it will be a massive disappointment if Arkansas does not win at all.
It'll be a disappointment, but it won't be a massive disappointment, right?
So what level of disappointment?
A pretty fair level. But okay, I'll go buy, because I mean we will be. I'll be disappointed. I'll be sad.
Me too. I won't. If it's, man, this is so tough. It will be very disappointing for sure. I would be more understanding of it if LSU is the culprit. Like for me, if they make it through that, and then you look at the rest of this field and the way it shapes up, and then they wind up losing anyway. Like if they get eliminated and it's not because LSU did it or had a hand in it, I'm not going to lie, I would be really salted about that.
Yeah, like let's say they lose game 1 on Saturday and then win an elimination game, win the loser of the winner's bracket game, beat LSU to force another game, and then lose that last one like they did in 2022. That's not going to be a massive disappointment to me. That will be disappointing, but it won't be a massive disappointment.
That's fair. How about this one with if Arkansas does not win the College World Series, it will be a different team winning their first College World Series ever. Do you buy or sell that?
Okay. Do we have the definitive list of teams that have not won it? Because Coastal's won it, Arizona's won it, LSU's won it, Oregon State won it, UCLA's won it, right?
This is just Arkansas and Murray State.
There was a trick question for you guys. So yeah,
I'm going to sell that.
That's pretty good.
No disrespect. Did y'all see John Morant tweet out about the Racers?
Yes.
I respect that. Dude, if John Morant's in Omaha, we got to link up. We got to link up.
Yeah, it's got to happen.
There's no tell that dude's going to Omaha.
UCLA won it in 2013. Actually, I was kind of surprised, but I didn't realize it was that recent.
Was that with Garrett Cole and Trevor Bauer? It might not have been.
I mean, 2013, yeah.
Dude, and they hated each other, but like that's kind of crazy in hindsight that those two dudes were on the same team.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy if you just go through some of them and like remembering like, hey, remember when Cal State Fullerton was a thing? Like they won a lot of College World Series. Rice won it in 2003.
Lance Berkman hit like 52 home runs at Rice or something like that. He had like a big league all-star or big league MVP level like home run RBI totals. It was like 47 home runs and 130 RBIs or something crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'd like to know what happened when Pepperdine won it back in 1992. Like what went wrong? But either way, yeah. So that was the whole point.
Back in the day, dude, the West Coast, because USC used to dominate too. Back in the day, the state of California owned baseball.
Yep. But and just like everything else,
the SEC because it's just cooler.
This means more in the SEC, as they say. How about this one? Buy or sell that Arkansas will score more runs per game in this College World Series than any of their previous one.
I would have to see the number, honestly, before I can make a statement. In 2018, they really didn't score a crazy amount. They scored a lot against Texas in Game 1. They scored a lot against Stanford in Game 1 in 2022, but like they weren't in a ton of slugfests. I'm gonna buy it.
I was about to say I'm gonna buy it. These dudes can hit, man.
Yeah.
Also, so I think the narrative about how like you can't hit home runs at TD Ameritrade or Charles Schwab, it's true to an extent, but like, dude, when it's hot and the air is thin like that, it's like, dude, that ball starts jumping a little bit. They broke the record like 2 years ago of like most home runs ever hit in the College World Series, and that includes like the crazy bat era.
Well, if I did my math correctly, which I probably didn't, they were at in 2018 was the most where they averaged 7.5 runs a game or 7 runs a game.
That's a
So
lot.
That's a lot of runs.
that Arkansas Texas game when they smoked them helped
That's
out.
more runs than after a night of Taco Bell that we're going to have.
Through that.
But if they, I mean, if they wound up having to battle their way out of the, losers bracket situation there against some depleted staffs, they might have a couple games where they score like 18 on somebody. So
that Murray State elimination game where they win 17-2.
yeah, exactly.
Leaves pitches like 5 innings.
yeah, no, it's gonna be elite. Also, little basketball for buy or sell. Buy or sell. The Arkansas will go 1-1 against Duke and Houston, respectively, this basketball season.
I'll buy that. I'll buy it.
I would say there's like an 80% chance, and then there's a small chance they go 0-2, small chance they go 2-0.
Yeah,
I'm buying it for sure.
More likely that they go 0-2 or 2-0.
It's honestly like just flipping a coin twice and just being like, what you got? I
They
think it's
ain't
more
losing
likely
both
they
those
go
games.
0-2.
They ain't losing both those games.
But
But BBN will tell you that Cal never wins them. So
true.
Yeah.
1-1 literally.
I also haven't looked at Duke's roster. I'm assuming it's pretty good.
it's young, but good. Yeah,
So catching them early actually might help.
could.
I like that.
Could be the difference maker there too. So, yeah, we'll get into more of your chats and everything. But by the way, folks, we're going to be giving away one of these on the show here at the end. It's a bombastic hat, the official bombastic hat, and you're ready for Omaha. So we'll give you details on what you need to do that. Here's the deal: you need to be watching on YouTube. You need to be subscribed on YouTube, and that's going to be how you get your best chance to win one of these. Because we want to make sure that you're geared up and know your ball once you get up there to Omaha. So we'll give you details on that and get it in the chat and make sure you're ready for it. Let's see. So we got Trey saying, have you guys seen the times for the games after game one? Looks like Monday at 1 p.m. if we lose and 6 p.m. if we win.
That is correct. And you get a day off no matter what, which is cool.
Okay, so maybe you guys can help me out with this then, because I was talking with my buddies, our group text this morning. So is it true that the other side of the brackets, loser bracket, gets a day off? Because according to the schedule I was looking at, like that loser bracket gets an extra day in between, but the side of the loser bracket over on Arkansas side does not.
This
think
would
you're
sound
right.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because let's think about this. Friday, 2 teams play.
Mhm.
On Sunday, there's a losers bracket game where an 0-1 team or 2 0-1 teams are playing. Whoever wins that game does not have to play the next day because there's just going to be the game 2s of the other one. And then the winner of the 0-1 game on Monday is going to turn around. That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh, that's unfair, but that is a little strange. You think about we talk about rest, talk about, what could be a difference maker in there. And I understand you can only have a game in one ballpark. So I don't know. I guess I didn't realize until today
The only
that
thing is it doesn't affect the team you're playing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it would matter if you had to play a team that was on 2 days rest or whatever, but honestly, like it really doesn't matter that much.
No, I just thought it was interesting because usually you think about how it's supposed to be like balanced, like completely. But just when you see it that way, it's just like I didn't even realize that. So, but how you don't have to worry about that is if you just keep winning and then you'll be fine.
I'll never forget one of the funniest moments I can think of in Omaha in 2022. Because Arkansas wins game 1 17-2. Which if Arkansas does that this week, can you imagine how cocky we're going to be and all that? But we were riding high, we're all buzzing. And then when they're losing to Ole Miss and they got down early, like a big amount, I remember Mason Cho just looks over at me and he says, dude, we might be going home tomorrow. I was like, yeah, dude, like that's how this thing works. Like you can feel as good as you want. As soon as you start losing, you could have 12 hours left in Omaha.
Yeah. I mean, it can be that quick, but just don't go 0-2 in barbecue. Take care of business. Make it a long run. I want to be in Omaha a week from today. I want to still be in Omaha. And I think that every Razorback fan would want to still be in Omaha too. And I had somebody who DM'd me, and I want to give this advice to everybody. And you can disagree. If you can go to Omaha, do it. Maybe I said it yesterday. You can go to Omaha, do it. But if you are strapped for cash or if it's like really expensive or anything like that, wait till the second weekend if Arkansas makes it. Because first weekend is cool. Like all of it's cool. But it's going to be absolutely worth it if you get to that second weekend and you get into those final 4 teams and everything. So save your money that way. If you
Should
can.
also be easier to go to those games next weekend.
Yeah. They don't the hotels and prices and all of that go down pretty dramatically, because that's what a lot of people don't realize is, it's all fluid. So you could have a team that you think is going to win it all. They don't book it out the entire 2 weeks. And then if you lose, you're like, well, I guess I have to pay for this for 2 weeks and just not do anything. It's like, no, people cancel, people drop out, people leave, people move on. And it happens a lot that way. So, also, Cody says, I hate to be negative, but Robinette is struggling at the plate. We have to score with runners on. Does DVH make a change?
I didn't even consider this, and I don't think Dave has either. So one, he's had a hit in 4 straight games. He's actually swung the bat pretty well this postseason. He's also gotten walked 5 times in the last 4 games. So he's getting on base and producing a good amount for a guy in the 8 hole. He had a big hit against Liam Doyle that helped spark that 4-run inning, which kind of broke things open. And that all happened with 2 outs. He hasn't been crushing necessarily, but he's done more than enough for a guy that's in there for his defense for the most part. And what's the alternative? You go back to Pepe, or you Gabe Frazier maybe, which Gabe Frazier I can maybe see the case for, playing him at second and Kojal at first, but Kojal's been good at second and is a freshman, guaranteed going to produce more than Robinette. Maybe, but I don't see the big need for switching it up, especially with how well things have been rolling. I mean, they haven't even changed the lineup other than flipping Kojal and Cajillo against lefties, righties. That's the only change, and we've been grooving.
Yeah, and I also think too, sometimes we get, not saying you've been doing this, Cody, but sometimes in baseball, it's like you look at the lineup and it's really good, but you always take all right, well, who's got the worst batting average among the team? We make a change with that person. As you said, Andrew, 8-hole hitter. It's not like he's your leadoff guy and he's batting 235. He's your 8-hole hitter. So it's pretty solid. I mean, your 9-hole hitter, Justin Thomas, is just a shade under 300, so it's okay.
This is a good point SEC makes, that he said he doesn't think a lot of people know that Robinette hasn't been playing all year, which I'm not saying this is the case with Cody, but I heard Chris Burke talking about Reese Robinette. He's like, he's only got 2 home runs on the year, so he's not got that much power. And I'm like, those 2 things are not necessarily the same thing, because I was like, now he doesn't, I wouldn't say he's got top-level power compared to some of these other guys, but he's actually got I'm surprised he hasn't hit for more power. I'm surprised he's got on base as much as he had. I thought he would hit for more power with a lower average, hit 240 with 6 or 7 home runs. Is kind of what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the College World Series. I don't think changes are needed. I think you're good. I think you're doing just fine. Keep it rolling, and that'll be just ducky. Okay, so we'll get to your chats and also do our giveaway here in a bit too. Did you guys see DeMarcus Cousins gotten almost a mouse at the Palace situation over there, dude?
Did see that. I tell you what, though, it wouldn't have ended well for me. I fully acknowledge that. But if he would have done to me what he did to that fan, I would have came up swinging. So I don't give a damn who it is. That was crazy.
So where did this happen?
Puerto Rico.
He was into it with a fan. I didn't know if we had the video or not. So
here's the thing: is I had the video pulled up, but it's not. StreamYard does not like this format of video.
I got you. He was on the sidelines and he was, he was back and forth with the fan or whatever, and he grabbed his junk and shook it in the dude's face, and then put that hand on the dude's face, back being in the middle of a basketball game, and that created a ruckus. And then they were trying to get him out of there, and then he was back in the tunnel and somebody threw a beer on him, and it took 6 people to get him on the ground, and they had to carry him out of there. It was a whole mess.
Yeah, DeMarcus Cousins, that dude is what you call a loose cannon. He was that way in the NBA, man. So it's no surprise, honestly. Also, a guy that many people don't want to mess with. You know what I mean? So it's it's who's gonna go fight him? That's a tough one.
That was. I mean, that's it's somebody spits in your face. That was extremely disrespectful what he did. It was crazy.
The nut juice on the face is tough.
Yeah, you can't do that, bro.
Okay, I think I have the video. I think. Okay,
this is crazy, dude.
This is just there's other angles, but this is definitely one of them. So, you can see your boogie. I'm not happy. I think people are taking him out.
Listen, when people talk about attitude problems and like, oh, can Cal manage the egos? Coach Calipari coached this guy, and he was a saint at Kentucky. And then he gets to the NBA and starts doing this stuff. John Calipari can manage his ego. You can manage a lot.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're not thinking in the moment. At least I assume he wasn't thinking in the moment. I was like, what's the best case scenario if they just let him go? Like, what's the best case scenario that happens if he just lets him go and does whatever he was trying to do? Like the best case scenario is that maybe he trips and falls and messes up his knee a little bit and he is on the ground and nothing happens because he didn't get there. Maybe that's the best case scenario, but just see there and see that. And I was like, man, kudos to the people that were there in security reasons. Cause it's not like he's a small dude. I mean, he's a huge dude. So shout out to them for taking care of business and getting it done. So, I'm not saying it made me laugh, but it kind of made me laugh.
That's
it was wild, man.
Yeah. Also too, I should have used this for one of my heavy hitters, but shout out to ESPN as they announced that not only is Dickie V getting a 2-year extension for his contract there, that's taking him through the 27-28 season, but they're also launching the Dick Vitale Invitational. So he's going to have an entire invitational dedicated to him starting in the 25-26 this upcoming season. And it's going to celebrate him and his profound impact on the sport and everything too. So it doesn't look like they have as far as any details on it, but it's going to be a pretty cool little thing. So shout out to that. And for Dickie V, dude, it's incredible how old he is. And yet he's in battles and cancer and all that. And he still keeps coming back, man. Still keeps coming back. Incredible.
Shouldn't Arkansas be in the Dickie V Invitational?
Makes sense.
Like, I mean, him and Cal are,
I would say if there were some schools that Dickie V probably was just like, you know what? Let me pass on them. Now that Cal's here, it changes the equation because now they are going to be in all these cool
absolutely does. Yeah.
But I don't know if he loves the Razorback faithful that much.
Yeah.
He might not want us because he knows there's a lot of Hog fans who don't like Dickie V. They might come in there and be mean.
Yeah, Dickie V is only like he went to the game that Cal got ejected at. That was like the last time he was in Bud Walton Arena. And then before that, it was literally like 1992 was the last time.
I wonder how big the teams are going to be in this tournament because like a lot of teams have a ton of games scheduled already.
Duke and Texas are in it.
Oh, damn. That's pretty big.
Yeah. So they'll have it'll be cool. And of course, ESPN, since it's an ESPN thing, will be promoted like crazy and everybody's going to be all about it there too. So,
I mean, Arkansas is one of Dickie V's Dandy Dozen teams. I don't know if you guys read that story or not, but they're in there. So
I like that. That'll be a cool thing for future years. I'm for all of these pre-Christmas things, like just those big marquee matchups. I mean, Arkansas's got a couple good ones already. I think that's going to be an ad. Like that's just a good excuse for these big time programs to meet up.
Yeah. And was it Diaper Dandies, right? That's the other one he has, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I can't keep up with his nomenclature.
He's got Triple S men. He's got a lot.
Yeah, he does. Also, real quick, we'll get to chat and also do this giveaway. But College Game Day announces that their first one for football season is no surprise going to be Ohio State and Texas. So,
it's a good game.
Lee Corso's final one. Just remember that. So you have to put the headgear on.
What do you think? You think he's going to go Bucky?
Oh, he has to. Full circle. Like everyone's going to know he's going to do that. First head he ever put on, and going to be the last.
You know what I love about college football? You really don't even have to like do any research on the names of the players and all that. It's like you just gotta know the name on the front of the jersey. Like Texas and Ohio State, it's like, all right, I know what I'm getting.
Right.
With Penn State, USC, all right, I get it. Alabama, all right, fair. It's like you kind of know what to expect. Every now and then you get a team that makes a run, but it's like it's the same programs every year, and I love it.
Yep, I do too. It's consistent at least. You can always count on that, and then you get to know the ones there too. So, all right, few chats here. Jeremy just says you don't make changes this late in the season if you're rolling. That was kind of my take on it too, as far as the Robinette situation. Because again, after what happened in postseason, I don't know why you would want anything to change with Arkansas right now. just I just can't see it. So, also people are saying that they either love Dickie V or they hate Dickie V. So there's that.
Yeah, I tell you, he's a polarizing one.
I guess so. I just never thought of him being polarizing. If you hate the way he like talks, I guess maybe it gets a little bit annoying, but
It's because of those SEC tournament games from a few years ago where he was critical of Mike Anderson and stuff like that.
Yeah. I will give, again, that whole thing with, I will give Mike Anderson credit. He didn't back down from it. He just went on Paul Feinbaum and roasted Dickie V. He was like, he didn't even know my player's name. He was calling Moses Kings. He called him Beasley. He didn't even know his name.
Called him a terrorist. Crazy.
Yeah. And as he got ejected, and shout out to Dusty Hannes setting that hard pick too. That was going on there. Man, you got to get back to that.
You're a mouse.
Yeah, he said, "You're not a man. You're a mouse."
I'm trying to think of what he said.
Who? Moses Kingsley or
no, the mouse thing when Dickie V was calling him a mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "You're not a man. You're a mouse." Okay, relax. And then Ashley Judd got involved, and it was just all terrible after that. So, all right. So we got a few minutes left. Here's how we're going to do this giveaway. As what we're going to do is we're going to do the giveaway, and then we're going to keep talking. And then we wrap up the show. Then we're going to have the actual giveaway itself. But here's the thing that you got to do for this awesome bombastic hat giveaway. First off, you got to be able to get in contact with me at some point in time so I can know how to get it to you. So don't be one of these troll people that doesn't have a way, like you don't have an address or you don't have something like that. Have that for you. But also in the chat, I have officially written down a number between 1 and 100. Whoever gets that number correctly will win the bombastic hat. So first one to do it. Have at it. Okay. And so we'll have that going on too, guys. First thing though, what are you looking forward to the most in Omaha once we get up there?
The practice Thursday will be pretty sick. And luckily, thankfully, I'm a huge TV star, which gets me in the door there. That's huge, despite the Devils' attempts to remove us from the facilities. That'll the press conference and like just soaking in those vibes, but also, I mean, the shows that we're going to be doing at some other places. But I'm excited to just start seeing Hog fans around because it's always nice. The last time I was in Omaha with Arkansas, I was a young pup that didn't know any better, and nobody knew who the hell I was. So it'll be nice to be able to enjoy this with Hog fans. You know who did recognize me in Omaha, though, last time? Eric Musselman.
Oh, there you go.
I don't think Eric Musselman.
Not a punch.
Eric Musselman recognized you. John Neighbors doesn't remember your encounter. That's crazy.
Exactly. That's the difference between those two men right there. Eric Musselman.
It's the only one. Like it's wild. But I mean, yeah, obviously I appreciate the pageantry of it. That's one thing that I love about the NCAA tournament experiences when we go out there, even though it's just a weekend, but you'll have, just representation from so many different fan bases and everything, running around and intermingling and everything like that. I think is really, really cool. I'm excited to get out to all these spots that I've heard so much about over the years and have just never experienced. So you guys talk about Rocco's and DJ's Dugout and, Drover, like all these other places I hear about all the time. I'm like, hey, man, that sounds awesome. Well, now I get to see it. So, and check it out and eat the food and everything. I'm a big foodie. So I'm pumped, man, about every single bit of it. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait. I'm like, I know we talked about the heat, but that's something I just have to remember. I'm not packing any sort of shirts or any sort of clothing items that would not be extremely or as comfortable as possible when it comes to the heat. Yeah. Like I'm not doing that stuff. It's like, I don't care if I look disgusting or look like a scrub. Like I'm going out there with some like, the cool gear or whatever, the type of shirts that reflect sunlight, whatever it is. Like I'm going out there with that because it's miserable.
I'm literally going out today and getting even more Razorback gear than I already have now that I know I don't have to dress like a professional. So
yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah.
My dad is like the biggest t-shirt guy I know. Like it's all like I've gotten him probably 9 t-shirts over the last 5 or 6 years, just birthdays, Christmas. Like that's all he wants is t-shirts. My mom got him one that like is like, hey, College World Series 2025, which is cool. But I told him, I was like, I'm not going to give it to you on Father's Day, but I will buy you a shirt on Father's Day. I just won't give it to you that day, but just know that it's bought on Father's Day.
Yeah. And that's, because that's another thing too of getting the College World Series apparel up there too. Got to get a souvenir for when it comes down. So it's always really cool. But
I've got one statement and I've got another question behind it.
Okay.
One, tomorrow at 11 o'clock is when they're doing the send-off. So any fans that don't have anything going on, before you watch Inside Arkansas Live tomorrow, there's a send-off happening at Bomb. I'm probably going to go there. I'm probably going to, call the Hogs, say what's up to the boys. They need to see me. They need to see that I'm there and that I love them. And so I'll be there checking that out. I think a lot of fans should come out too. It's usually a pretty cool little thing when they send them off. Everybody cheers for them. It's always fun. And my question that I have is, are they doing that opening ceremony thing on I don't know what night it would be. Would that be maybe Wednesday night?
Because isn't it like that? Haven't they had a concert or something like that before? Like they'll dig up Eddie Money or whoever it is and be like, hey, let's.
I've never gone before, but I want to go if they're doing it. I'm assuming they are. They do the thing where each team gets introduced. There's little competitions, like the hula hoop that they had at Bahamas, Curtis, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of activities and shenanigans. I want to go to that if they're doing it. I'm assuming they are.
I'm looking at it right now. At least according to the credentialing packet, which I'll send to you, Andrew. But looks like the only thing that they have is schedule of events. Wednesday, June 11th, you have credential distribution. Thursday, distribution, practices, game meals, practice. And then Friday's the games. They don't have anything said or listed as far as any opening ceremonies, at least according to this. So
y'all know what I'm talking about? Am I just tripping? Did I make this up?
No, I remember it. That's why I was a little surprised because I wanted to look it up because I didn't remember seeing it. But yeah, I mean, it was they have concerts and stuff, kind of to set it all out and square it away.
Shout out to the chat. They're just all chasing each other around on the number game. People are just.
Have you seen the number yet, John?
Oh yeah, I started.
Okay.
It was just like I knew it was going to become a cesspool. So
it's a disaster.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
I'm doing it because we know.
Yeah, I was going to do it like, hey, here's the number. Y'all talk, and I'm going to watch the chat because I know somebody's going to say it pretty quickly and then just start it. So
see, but okay, now here's how it works though. Do we if someone's put multiple ones in the chat, like they're disqualified or what?
No, it's just the first one to get it right. Kind of like what I was looking for. So.
All right. Well, hopefully y'all will relax and stop spamming.
Yeah. I mean, someone's won, hey, we love the interactions. Good for the algorithm when it comes to the chats and everything.
So do we have to, we basically have to wait until someone gets it, right?
No, someone's already got it.
Oh.
So, yeah. That's why I started. So it's very simple. And if you know anything about me.
I want to know. Oh. Dang, y'all should have known that one. That's crazy.
Oh, seriously. Congratulations, Jeremy. You're the winner.
Well done, Jeremy.
You're the
Jeremy
winner.
Stewart, who already has some merch, right?
He does, and that's what I was kind of feeling weird about. I was like, I don't know if he has a bombastic hat, though. I know he has some Inside Arkansas gear.
About to, broski.
Yeah, he's going to have two hats. So, but Jeremy, congrats. Hit me up. Give me your information. Of course, I probably already have it in the system since you ordered some merch from us anyways. But we'll make sure to get you the bombastic hat as quickly as possible. Or who knows? If you're going to Omaha, may just pick it up from there. However you need to do it. So, either way. Yeah, everybody's I'm sure loving the fact that I decided to ask that question and no one's mad about it at all. So
also, we've got multiple Kingsleys in the chat. I want to point this out to SCT. This is not Jareem the Dream. That would be Jareem McCollum. This is Jeremy Stewart. It's different. We got multiple Kingsleys, multiple Jeremys.
Jareem. That's still
Jareem the Dream.
Yep. That's again, I hope Curtis names his kid Jareem. It's gonna be great.
It's on the list now. Michelle doesn't know, but I put it on there.
Good deal. Oh man. All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we roll out here for the day?
Nah, I'm good.
Well, I mean, it's a good day to be a Hog always. We think we can get year 2 Talon and Bobby's offense is going to be pretty good, and so we're excited about our team.
Can't say it any better than that. Shout out to Sam Pittman. But either way, hey, appreciate each and every one of you though, hanging out with us, watching us, subscribing to us here at Inside Arkansas. Be sure to do so if you haven't already. We're going to be up in Omaha this week, crushing it with all the content, whether it's Inside Arkansas Live, Out at the Palace, the Bombastic Podcast. It's still going to be moving on, going on, and it's going to be on location. We're going to keep you all up to date on that. Again, Macadoodles up there in Omaha, where they have a great deal with free ice for all you Razorback fans. Come see us at noon on Friday up there, and we'll give you more details on that as the week goes on. So that'll do it for us. For Andrew Ellis, as well as Curtis Wilkerson, I am John Neighbors. Same sports show, same sports channel. Tomorrow at noon. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and we'll see you then.